Welcome back to Straight Talk, No BS. I'm Jay. This is Tanya on the side of me. On y'all right-hand side, we got Nate. Hey, ladies. Hey.
Hey.
And hey, audience. Hey, audience. Make sure that y'all get in the comments. Share whatever you want to share. Ask whatever you want to ask. All right, ladies. Let's get to our show tonight. I know a lot of people are wondering why the topic is "Mama don't mean shit no more." That was a mouthful.
Did it get you?
They got me tongue twister. Mm-hmm. But anyway, y'all, we're about to get to that, y'all. We're about to get to the shenanigans. But y'all, let's get to what's on your mind. Yeah. Okay, y'all. I know the topic of the show is "Mama don't mean shit no more," y'all. But I want to touch on something first. I want to say our condolences out to the Rickey Smiley family. He lost his son, Brandon Smiley. I'm sure everybody know that. So we want to send out our condolences. And also, y'all, I want to know, how did y'all feel about everybody prejudging Rickey Smiley about the way he was mourning his son's loss, how he took to the internet, posting videos every day, and even some people went as far as saying that he was the cause of his son not committing suicide, y'all. Strike that from the record, but pressuring his son into taking his life.
So which one first? What you want to talk about first?
Whichever one y'all want to address. How did y'all feel about how he reacted at the funeral?
Well, I'm sorry, Nat. Were you about to go? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
No, I think that I've heard a lot of people say that his behavior at the funeral, again, we're talking about Rickey Smiley, was inappropriate at his son's standing ovation.
There you go, standing ovation.
Personally, the terminology behind it, homegoing, funeral, however we word it, he chose to word it a particular way because that's how he felt he wanted to remember his son by. He thought it was appropriate, and he's entitled to whatever that may be. I think that people passing judgment on his behavior, if you lost somebody, there's no behavior that's correct. It's almost just like in the eyes of the law when you see people on the court or on the stand and they're like, "Oh, they didn't cry hard enough," or they did cry too hard and they're over dramatic, so you can't believe their character and all this other stuff. I mean, people are going to pass judgment. He's in the public eye. And so I look at it like, let the man be. How he acted, how he didn't act. He's in the public eye, so he's gonna get crucified. I mean, no matter what he does.
Yep.
But
so, Nay, how do you feel about it?
I feel like the world can take two thumbs and go left with it, because you can't tell a person how to mourn or grieve or even celebrate a lost loved one. You just can't. That's just like telling me that I can't have a balloon release from my mother, even though she's been deceased for 30 years. If Rickey wanted to celebrate his son by praise and worship, if he wanted to celebrate his son by showing how many times he took him to Disneyland, how they grieve is how they grieve. And you did give props to the Smiley family, but his mother was also remarried and her last name was Green. So Rickey even gave props to the other dad. He didn't say stepdad. He said, "Everybody pray for my son's mother and her husband, my son's other father." And that takes...
Do you know he even got criticized for that? I mean, to jump in, but he got criticized because he said, "I'm okay. You just worry about the mother. Pray for the mother. Pray for his grandmother
and his siblings, because a mother's losing a child is grief. I'm not saying that it's different for a father, but you've lost something that you gave birth to. So I completely understood what he was saying as a mom. Like, I only have one son. So when the good Lord take him home, and if I'm still here, they might as well commit me, because that's the only boy I got, So I completely understood what he was saying, where he was coming from when he said that.
When he said, pay your respects to the mom. Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like a lot of people are so much into the box. You know what I'm saying? if you step one toe outside that box of
It's
what they consider is normal, then something is wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you see Ricky Smiley at the funeral jumping up and down and shouting and saying, "Thank you, Jesus, glory," you know. And I felt like, hell, with Leandra Johnson singing, I probably would have did the same thing.
Just saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
if
like
he felt moved, he felt moved.
Exactly.
We just got to get out of that box of saying this is the norm. You know what I'm saying? We lose touch when we think that everybody should fit inside a box. Get outside that box.
You're exactly right. I'm just saying, you know, why, what's normal? What's normal anyway? And especially if you've lost somebody, if the spirit touches you, what is acceptable, normal reaction to when the spirit touches you? I'm sorry.
When the Holy Spirit hits you, baby, you don't know what you're going to do.
You might cry.
You might do a backflip up in there. I'm just telling you.
But because you act the type of way, like I said, he's in the public eye, so he's going to expect it. And I'm sure by now, of course, he's used to that. But it is truly sad to hear all of the different allegations behind it, how he's supposed to act, not supposed to act. Y'all, like, until you lose somebody, and all that have lost somebody can definitely understand. Hopefully you can understand where we're coming from. It's like, you know, how am I supposed to act that's acceptable in the eyes of the public?
Let's say, for instance, he was mad at his son.
Yeah.
Is that wrong for him to be mad at his son? Because
No.
he did all that he could do to try to save his son in this rehab and that rehab counseling. And now you're gone because of a mistake you couldn't come back from.
Allegedly.
I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm saying you're allowed to be mad if you're mad. Who are we to judge?
That's true. Nay, what do you think about that? About being mad at your child?
Because I want to say this,
due to their mistakes or something. I mean,
I want to say that because a lot of people, they are afraid to say, "I hate God" when they lose somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's outside the normal, right? So I say, if he was upset at his son, so what? He had a right to be. Let him mourn the way he wants to mourn. Go ahead, Nate.
You know, when you say that, it's a whole bunch of times I've been upset at my children. It's a whole bunch of times that I have lashed at my kids. I have talked to them like they are other people on the street because I expect more of them. But I will say this. I have never been on the side of the track where they were disrespectful towards me. Now, with that being said, you know, I have cursed at God, Judy, when you spoke on that. So I have stepped outside the box. They say that biblically you're not supposed to question God. Well, you're looking at a believer that, hey, I question him. I want to know why. I want answers to why. Why is this happening? Why am I going through this? Why am I feeling this way? Why does this hurt so bad? Why did you take my mother the way it happened? Why did my father have to die the way he did? Everything that they taught us as young children, don't ask why. Whatever is in the Most High, that's just what's supposed to happen. You know, Christ knows what's going to happen before it happened. Okay, well, I want to know why. There's nothing wrong with being angry at God. There's nothing wrong with being angry at your loved ones. There's nothing wrong with penalizing your kids when they fuck up. I'm sorry. That's just what I believe. Young or old, I'm going to get in your ass.
I feel like God knows that we're of the flesh. So that's just normal, you know. But how did y'all feel about people talking about him, criticizing him for being on live? Like every day he was on live until up to the day that his son was buried. And I'm gonna say the way I felt about it. The way I feel about it is that what's wrong with it? Our parents did it. They just did it a different way. They did it with a rotary phone. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't have the social media. But best believe Barbara Ann knew this bitch up in here is bad as hell and fucked up at school. Barbara Ann knew that. You see what I'm saying? But we're so quick to criticize when people get on the internet and vent. Would you rather for this man to kill himself because he couldn't vent about his son passing? You know what I'm saying? So now they're making judgment and criticizing him. Oh, he's out on social media trying to monetize off his son's death. Okay, well, I guarantee back then when I was growing up, if my mama had access to the internet, her ass would have been on there day and night with my bad ass. I'm gonna just tell you now, she would have made a fortune.
Well, I feel like in that instance, him being on social media, it's not like all of a sudden, poof, his son passed, his nephew passed, he's got people passing, and now he's wanting to jump on the media book. No, he's been that way. The man is a comedian. That's his livelihood. That's his career. So he's very vocal about sharing his life because that's his way of venting. That's his outlet. So it didn't just start happening. It's something that he's been continuing to do. And him sharing that, again, I've said it before, I feel like when you share your personal experiences, somebody else is going through that. And you never know what your words might do to help them either get through it, ease them for the day, give them clarity and understanding, whatever it may be. But that didn't change. Again, it didn't just all of a sudden happen. He's been monetizing, so him jumping on the book or wherever he was jumping onto social media, and then him monetizing from it wasn't a swift change, a sudden change. He's been doing it, and that was just him venting.
And a lot of people saying because of his stern parenting is the reason why Brandon OD'd. Apparently, that's what's been said. Allegedly, let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it wasn't wrong. It wasn't nothing wrong with the way that he parented his kids. You know. He had expectations because he was a public figure. You know what I'm saying? If I say you need to dress a certain way, you need to dress that certain way because it's all in your best interest. You know, everything that I do is because I love you. It's not that I'm trying to hurt you or hurt your feelings or none of that.
Now, what do you think about that, about his parenting style being stern? Was it wrong? Do you think it was okay? I mean, what do you think about it?
I don't know why y'all ask me what I think, because I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm an old school type of woman. I believe the way that he raised his children, making them work for what they want, making them go to school for what they want. Like he said, he raised more than just his biological children. He gave every child the same opportunity that he gave the next and the next and the next. If you didn't want to go to college, that's fine, but you got to go to work. If you didn't want to go to school, that's fine, but you got to go to Job Corps. Ricky didn't do anything wrong that wasn't taught to him. His grandparents raised him. And so, therefore, the same way his grandparents raised him is how he raised his children. And I did the same thing with my own biological kids. I can't apologize for giving you the structure that I had, the foundation that I had. I can only give you what I had. I can't make something magically appear. Now, Ricky took what his grandparents instilled in him, and he instilled it in his own children, but you thought you was going to get a red carpet because he made a name for himself. No, baby, that's me. That's me. You got to find your own way. And his son did.
Ooh, I respected that day. His son stayed in the hood.
Yes.
In a normal house. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing fancy.
Yes.
So I respect that because that's me all day long. Because what I got is mine. I went out and busted mine. It ain't
and Ricky still shop at Walmart. He still shops at Target. Just because he has this statue about himself, he is still very grounded. You can't take that away from him. And then the whole fact of him going live while his son is deceased, that's his document for when he get older or when his son had a child. Okay, you might want to see videos of your dad. You might want to see the things that your dad did before he passed away. There's nothing wrong with how he grieved and what he's doing. I don't see anything wrong with it. Just like, God forgive me, but when Kirk Franklin cussed out his son and he apologized to the world and the church community, God forgive me, but the church ain't going to get me into heaven. So I don't feel like he should have apologize to the Christian community. If you disrespected me, I'm gonna put my foot in your ass.
And I tend to believe, Nay, old school parenting styles are more stern and more stiff compared to what you see now today. And there's again, what isn't broke, don't fix it. I'm not saying now. I do have a disagreement with some of the parenting styles or the discipline that was passed down from generation to generation just because of some of how it was introduced to the Black community. You understand? We were descendants of, we were slaves at one point, beat and all that kind of stuff. And some of that abrupt, stern, abusive style passed forward. And there's no denying that. I think a lot of older people can contest to getting, hey, you got your ass handed to you. So I don't agree with the extreme side of it, but the stern, making sure that your child knows that they're loved, but putting your foot down on some stuff, that stern parenting style, what Ricky has demonstrated throughout that I've heard. And again, all this is alleged anyway. All the things that we're talking about, we're not inside his house. We only know what he's vocalized and shared with the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
But going on what we've seen, I don't think there's anything wrong with how he raised his kids, the other kids, him being stern, putting his foot down, making them work for it instead of expecting and feeling entitled, which is what you definitely see a lot of, entitlement these days. So I disagree with people passing judgment on that. I think more of that in the world probably would benefit a lot of young people.
Well, I believe Ricky was the mama and the daddy
Well,
to most of these kids. That's the reason why I added him in this conversation tonight. That mama don't mean shit no more. You know, mama used to be a powerful word back in the day. You know what I mean? Used to say shit like, I swear I put that on my mama. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I swear I put that on my mama. And when you said you put that on your mama,
that's the Bible.
Everybody knew. Oh shit. They tell the truth. They tell the truth. They put that on their mama.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Word about your mama, right?
Okay.
I still say that I still say that to this day with me and my 4 brothers. Like if I say something and they be like, man, you lying. I'll be like, nah, I put that on mama. For real, for real. I put that on mama. Right? So if I put that on my mama, that means I ain't lying.
Because mama meant something. Right? Mama meant something. You could be at school getting in trouble, right? Soon as that teacher say, I'm finna call your mama, act right was automatically enforced. What? You finna call who? Not my daddy.
Call my mama.
But I'm finna call your mama if you don't act right up in this class.
Don't call my mama, please. Can we work out a deal, teacher?
Okay.
What? Like
you in negotiation, full-blown negotiation. Please don't call my mama because she's gonna turn my ass up.
She gonna come up here and clown like go. No, I know.
My mama finna come up to the school with her house shoes on, with a do-rag on, and a long ass belt.
Thank you. Embarrassing my ass and everything. Please don't call my mama. So yeah, I remember back then. You know what I'm saying? And we, like you said, we still putting it on the fact that mama meant something. It carried weight. But somehow along the line, I don't know if y'all
it got lost with this generation.
Mama don't mean
it don't mean nothing no more. Nowadays, you got now I'm gonna go to the girls. You got daughters, right? You got daughters who will go out and get married and won't even call a mama, or fall down and don't even call a mama in a most stressful time, or they having a problem, or in a deep dark place. They won't even reach out to the one who gave birth to them.
I got a question. You know, does anybody feel that if you weren't go ahead?
No, I was about to ask a question too, but you go ahead.
No, but I just want to know, does anybody out that's watching this, anyone going through, if you weren't invited to your daughter, or let's just say your son either, you know, your child's wedding, because you only do that. You only go before the eyes of God once, whether it's in a courthouse, big, elaborate, extravagant wedding, does it even matter? If you weren't invited, and say you're in good standing, by the way, that, you know, there's no beef or bad blood or nothing like that. You just weren't invited, but yet the person that they married's people were there.
How would y'all feel if your daughter went and got married and never invited you to the wedding? I can understand when people elope, you know what I'm saying?
Because
but
it's just
neither side of the family is there. It's just those two people.
And I have to ask
but that. How would you feel if your daughter leave and go get married, got it all over social media that she's married, the whole ceremony over social media, and you're not there, but his parents or her parents are there, but you're not invited?
I agree.
I would be pissed the fuck off. I know that's right.
Just saying. Nate, how are you feeling about that particular, you know, because like I said, mama don't mean shit no more, to the point where you don't even think enough to share them moments with your mom.
I would be mad, but I'm on the other side of the fence. And I don't know if my daughter's watching, but my oldest daughter, Sandra, got married. She went to the courthouse and got married, and she needed a witness. And I didn't go to the courthouse to watch my daughter get married for my own reasons or whatever. But her ex-husband, whatever, baby daddy, his father went. So it was after that when my daughter came home, I didn't think it was a big deal. She was big and pregnant and days from giving birth, and I was stressing, going back and forth to the ER every time she stumped a toe. And I guess at that particular time in my life, I was like, oh, I just need a break. That's just a scene I just don't want to see right now. So I didn't go. I didn't go to her marriage. And she told me some months later, she was like, Ma, can I tell you something? And I said, yeah. So her husband gone, he back in the Navy. And she was like, when we went to the courthouse to get married and you wasn't there to see it, she was like, that hurt me. I was deep down, I was hurt.
That would be the normal response.
Yeah, she was like, his dad was there, and I wanted my mom, who had been there the whole 9 months, because she wasn't there. Her baby daddy wasn't there. He was in the service. So I wanted the person that supported me through my 9 months of pregnancy to stand right there with me. So it hurt. And I cried so hard, and I apologized, and I told her that's a moment that I can't get back. I said, Sandra, but I just, in my mind and my heart, I just needed a break, because I was having seizures and stuff. And I just didn't feel like getting up, getting dressed, which was no excuse. So to know that I hurt my child the same way it would hurt a mother, to bring it all back full circle, the same way it would hurt a mother to not be there, I also hurt my daughter because I wasn't there for her. So I'm the opposite. And I told her, I know I can't replace that first one, but if she ever was to get married again, I would be there. I would be there, hell, to wipe her boogers if I had to, but I would be there.
But the point is, Nate, is she invited you.
Did it hurt your feelings, or did it hurt y'all's relationship?
It did not hurt our relationship at all. I can honestly say that after she said what she said, and she said she forgave me, she never spoke of it again. She just wanted me to know as an adult that it did hurt.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, our situation, it was one of ours, and it hurt me to the core, to the point where I'm harboring very negative. It's hurt my relationship. I cry so hard right now to this moment. I have not watched that video. I caught a glimpse of the picture of the video, how the video pops up and you see the first couple seconds of it playing of the wedding. And to just see my daughter standing there, beautiful gown next to her groom, the mama marrying. I'm sitting there like, but I wasn't there. So yeah, my relationship is strained. It's hurt. I'm hurt. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get over that. Because like she told me, well, we're going to have another ceremony, another wedding.
Damn that. You can't get back
I can't get that back. And I don't understand why mama didn't mean shit enough to you to invite me. We're not on bad terms. I ain't did nothing to you. So there we are with that. And so, mama don't mean shit no more. I need to understand, at what point don't you, why? And so now our relationship has got a huge strain on it, because why? You didn't think enough of me. And the bad part about it is, I don't have falling outs with the other side of the family. I may not like some of the beliefs or some of the words that have been spoken or some of the behaviors of some of that side of the family, but I still don't pass judgment. One, I'm not there, so I can't just pass the judgment. I only go on what I see. But the point is, it doesn't matter how I feel about them. You're mine. You're mine. I have 2 girls. You're mine. You're the first to go jump and leap the broom. Why wasn't I there? And so that is what I'm talking about. No matter how I felt about the other side, it don't matter. You didn't think enough. So I'm again, Nay, you're the direct opposite. And I had to ask you, did that hurt your relationship? The fact that you didn't go? Did she come at you sideways? Did she talk down to you or question you?
No.
Did she hold it against you that you didn't go?
No, she didn't.
So I'm just like I said, mama don't mean shit.
Hannah Carter, she says you only get one mother. And I have to tell you, Pamela, they were lucky to have 2, me and her. Yeah. But it is what it is,
So that I'm sorry, I kind of sounded off on that. But again, the topic of this show is mama don't mean shit no more, just for the sake that maybe people are out there, other mothers who have gone through things with their children, or maybe you haven't gone through anything with your children. Shed some opinion. You know what I'm saying? Chime in on this because I feel like it's a generational thing.
I feel the same way.
I tend to believe that because, like we just vocalized and said that, back in the day, that wasn't, hey, you know what I'm saying? We didn't look at mama like that.
It's like now these kids, they come out the womb demanding respect. They don't understand that you don't demand respect, you earn it. But they feel like they should have it soon. My mama's disrespecting me. How's your mama disrespecting you? Baby, you ain't even lived life. I'm the elder here. You have to earn respect.
What you think about that, Nay? That the youngsters are feeling like they are entitled or that they should automatically demand respect from you.
You finna read the comment or you want me to?
Go ahead, Nay.
Oh, the way I see it, or the way that I raised my kids, and I wasn't perfect. God knows I wasn't perfect. I was very stern. I was very strict with my kids. My kids didn't get to go places. My kids didn't get to do a lot of things. I love my kids and I spoil my kids, but whatever I said in my house, the law was the law. I have friends to this day that tell me all the time, damn, Nate, we should have did what you did. Maybe my kids would respect me more. Maybe my kids would XYZ. But I also know that because of my disability, and I'm not using it as an excuse, but it's just a fact. I believe that the reason my family didn't go left, my kids see me sick a lot, so after I got through being the disciplinary, after I got through whooping that ass, after I got through punishing that ass, I also in turn got sick. So they seen me spazzing out a lot. That's no excuse for disrespect. Now, this is how I see it, Judy. And this is my right hand to the good Lord. The Lord can take me now. I tell my daughter all the time, if you don't start at a very young age, and what I mean by young, I mean 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with discipline, with spankings, with punishment, taking things away. By the time they turn 8, 9, 10, 11, you done lost that child because that child doesn't listen to authority. Kids have to have structure in their life. If you don't get it in young, by the time they hit 8, and then in 10 years when they're 18, you've lost that kid to the system because you didn't put it in them early. You didn't put that structure in early to be respected. And you can't party with your kids. I have friends, no disrespect towards anybody. Please forgive me because I'm not passing judgment. What you and your family do, that's between you all. But I have friends that celebrate with their children. I don't celebrate with my kids. My kids are out there doing what adults do, and we all know what that is. But when it comes to me in my presence, in my face, they don't do that. They're not allowed to do that. You're not finna sip in front of me. You're not finna smoke nothing in front of me. We're not finna roll like that. I'm your parent. I'm not your friend.
Being kids' friends, huh? So when you give them everything and you show them, because, by being their friend and listening to them and providing for them. And I don't know, there's a thin line between either one. I'm sorry, Nate, when you said that, I just kind of got stuck on the, being your kid's friend. When you want to be there for them and you want to listen to them and try to give them opportunity to vocalize their opinions or to share with you when they're going through this or that and the other, and then they still in turn turn back around and they come at you disrespectfully. I don't know. I don't know
Well, in our household, I never believed in listening to their opinion. In my household, you don't have an opinion. I'm sorry. You ain't even lived life. You know what I'm saying? You're unexperienced. What kind of advice can you give me? In my house, it was like, you need to follow these set rules that I put in place. That's how I was. I was sort of like Ricky Smiley. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're going to do it my way.
Your way or the highway?
My way or the highway. That's just it. Tanya was, on the other hand, she's the type that she felt like they should be able to have an opinion. Why? That's what brings problems.
Well, Nate, hold on just a second. I feel like.
There you go, Pamela. Well, Pamela agrees. Kids do not have an opinion in my house. I know that's right.
Go ahead, man.
Shit.
I was just about to say that. I mean, kids don't have an opinion. You don't even have the right to say nothing. If I have to clothe you, if I have to feed you, if I gotta pay these high ass bills, if I gotta do all this extra stuff just to get you to school, you don't have an opinion. And I remember I did get into it or have an altercation with Tatiana when she was in cosmetology. She was the only one of my kids that went to school, trade school, whatever, and she finished. Halfway through that, Judy, she decided, because I'm grown, I'm finna quit. Now, bitch, you're not gonna quit because it took my SSI for you to get that financial aid. So therefore, you're gonna take your ass to school. Now, if you had to did it on your own, where you didn't need mama low income, SSI, Social Security, whatever, then you want to quit, then that's on you. But as long as I had to put my Social Security number on any piece of paper, you're going to keep on getting your ass up 6 days a week and go to school until you finish. Now, what you do with it after you finish, that's on you. But I know you started something and you finished it because my name was on it. You don't get the right. And she was 19, 20 years old at that time. She was an adult, but you was still
you ain't grown. You ain't paying your own bills. You ain't grown. I'm sorry. And that's one of the problems that we had with ours. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here shoveling out. Pretty much you got me slaving for your ass. I'm going to work to pay your bills. How's that right? You ain't in college. You just laying up in your apartment, you know what I'm saying? And getting your bills paid by me. Because the shit is in my name. You know what I'm saying? Well, it was in Tanya's name. But Tanya's a part of me. So guess what? I'm going to work to pay your bills. And then you got the nerves to be disrespectful when you ain't paid your rent, eviction letters getting sent and everything else. They calling us, hey, this rent ain't been paid over here. I'm paying your rent for 7 months. You ain't put $1 on it. And they got the nerves to say, don't call me stressing me about rent. That's what this nigga had to say. I'm just saying. Don't call me stressing you. What you not gonna do. This is what she said to me. Well, to Tanya, what you not gonna do, Mom? What you not gonna do is call me and stress me about rent being due. Yeah, but you in my pocket. You in my bank account. And indeed, my check is paying your rent.
Like I'm just supposed to do that. What part of the game was that? That wasn't the agreement from the top anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Do y'all feel that because it's our way or no way in raising our children, is that the division that comes, and that's why mamas don't mean shit? Because then we get the disrespectful stuff back because why we demand you to do it our way, you have no say so in it?
That's one of the reasons. I think this generation has a problem with authority.
Nate, what you think?
My daddy told me, and this was me as an adult, why you bullshit, I was grown. I'm putting this on straight talk, no BS, straight talk, no bullshit. I said, Daddy, can you give me $150 so I can XYZ? And then he said, yeah, I'll give it to you. And it came with a long speech, you know, and my daddy had this. Yeah, he had to struggle. Let me tell you why you're going through what you're going through. I'm going to tell you. And I said, Daddy, why you got to give me a long speech before you give me the money? These are my words, and I'm telling this to straight talk, no BS. As long as I'm your mama and God is waking me up every day to be your mama, and I got to help you pay a bill, bitch, I'm going to do some complaining. I'm going to do some bitching. And I'm going to get in your ass. If you don't want the advice I got to get you, get out of my pocketbook. My daddy told me that. Get out of my pocketbook.
That's the truth right there. That's why I don't understand. Why do you have an opinion? Why do you feel comfortable enough to vocalize how unhappy you are that I'm harassing you over some rent you're supposed to pay? But I'm paying it. We as your parents are fronting the bill, put our name down for you, but then you got the nerve because you stressed on how you gonna pay it.
And then we sit back still trying to be calm, talking about, well, how much money do you make a week? Because we want to find out so we can try to help you budget right. This heifer said, that ain't fucking helping me. This shit that y'all talking about ain't fucking helping me. What the fuck? I ain't trying to hear all of that. Nay, I politely got dressed, got my heat and got in my car and said, I'm coming down there to beat your motherfucking ass and put you the fuck out.
If that ain't straight talk, no bullshit.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it straight talk. You got me fucked up. You gonna that's the last time you gonna disrespect your mama. Because Tanya's very passive, and put up with your bullshit all this time. I ain't finna put up with it. I'm finna come down there and whoop I'm gonna choke your bitch ass out. And when you wake up, I'm gonna ask you, do you got the rent money? If you don't get your shit and get the fuck out.
Like I said, that's old school right there. And I don't know if anybody can understand that, but it sends you into a point where you don't see your child at that point when they come with that disrespectfulness. You understand? It's like I never crossed the line.
You knew not to cross the line back in the day.
Fully grown and never cussed. Said I might have slipped as in when I'm telling a story to my mama, but I never cussed my mama. I never did that. Why? Because I held my mama to a certain standard and degree. I never drunk in front of my mama. I didn't smoke. I never did any of that. I tried my best to hide my devilment. You get what I'm saying? I put a foot effort to trying to hide it from her because I didn't want her to know. But it's like now I don't understand. It's real easy and open and just comfortable with the language I've heard, and not just from my own children, but from people that
are out in the public.
I had a client I was working for, and it was just amazing. It was an 8 or 9-year-old young girl that was cussing at her mama. I mean, telling her mama what she wasn't finna do, and was just telling her, I don't like this, and I shouldn't have to do this, and you can't make me blah 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 blah. Stomped off and slammed the door, and I'm talking about wow with it, like the echo on it. I was taking care of my patient the whole time, talking about. I was mad. I was like, and I'm passive. So I don't know what's going on with this younger generation, but
what are some of the reasons why they feel that they can do it?
I think that sometimes maybe it's just they've gotten used to doing it. Maybe they don't know how to change. Maybe children are have been disrespectful for so long they just don't, and if the parent is putting up with it, what's the reason to change? So you just can continue to be it, right?
Yep. Look at their face.
I'm just saying.
And Pamela, you are right. You are absolutely right. They don't give a fuck. Like I said, mama don't mean nothing. And the sad part about it is that when mama's gone, they're going to be left with that agony. They're going to be left with that misery. Why didn't I? We try to teach our kids, baby, give me my flowers while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna have to pay for everything that they done later on.
What about I think I heard a young person say that they get aggravated. It makes them come at their parents or their mother disrespectfully because they've heard that term so many times before that's your mama. You have to you must respect your mama. That's your parents. You have to respect your parents just because. And so they decided it bothered them and it angered them. They came disrespectfully every time. One of the uncles or whatever would tell them that, hey, you're supposed to respect your parents. You're not supposed to be acting this way and being disrespectful or whatever. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Just because
you're mama, I don't have to respect you.
So that's another thing that I heard, and I was like, mamas don't mean shit no more. Now you keep pointing that finger up in there, but I'm just telling you what I heard a young adult say.
I'm gonna go back to what Judy said. Why do you think they act that way? That was the question. It's gonna take me a couple of seconds, but I'm gonna bring it full circle. The children act the way they act because us as the parents got to look ourselves in the mirror. Why do we have to look in the mirror? They took discipline out of school. They took prayers out of school. They took honor out of school. When you start letting a white motherfucker tell you how to raise what's inside your house, you have lost control of your house. I have went to the school, and I'm going to say it again. Every school that my kids went to, it's got my name imprinted in each school, from grade school to high school. Don't call me to that goddamn school, because when I come to that goddamn school, I'm going to make you a new way out, because I'm going to kick them into the wall, because I'm sending you to school for education, not for me to come up here and be the principal. When parents start listening to these white folks talking about CPS, my daughter tried to run away. She tried to run away, and I ran that motherfucker out the back door. She went out the front. I kicked her through the back door. I'm going to give you a reason to leave. I'm not saying that Cynthia way is the right way. Please don't listen to me on Straight Talk, because these days they hanging motherfuckers by their toenails. All I'm saying is, if you don't keep your order in house, it's going to get out of control out of your house.
And
Education and discipline comes from home. I have 5 grandkids. Everything that I buy my grandkids is educational. Everything. And I still got a leather belt for them too. They're more afraid of me than they are their parents.
I'm gonna read
this. And that's the God's honest truth.
Did your tough love push your child into an outside relationship they may not have been ready for, but wanted independence from you?
So that would be a reason for a child to be disrespectful, because tough love, optional word here is love, but tough love pushed them to outside relationships.
They were already outside our house.
Independence from us.
They were already outside our house. And let me tell you something. We teach our kids, and we tell our kids, your life is your life. You don't live it for us because we live in our life. You live your life. Your decisions are your decisions. When you grown, the only thing we got to do is just guide you. We can't tell you, no, don't get married, don't go do this. No. And we don't even talk negative to you about it. We just tell you what we feel, our opinion, and that's it. What you do is your business. So no. And another thing, if tough love gonna run you off, well, goddamn it, get the running. Because if you don't give that tough love, that means you don't love your kids.
How about tough? The world is tough. If we don't give it to you in home, what are you expecting to deal with when you get outside the house? That's all I'm saying. The love, it may not be what you want. It might not be cakes and roses and ice cream and shit like that, but it's the truth, and it's love, and it's from the heart, because it's meant with intention to guide you the right damn way. So if it's tough and you don't like it, I'm doing my job right. You're not supposed to be my friend. I'm not supposed to kiss your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's not, tough love is what it is.
Okay, the question was, did the tough love run her into a relationship that she may not have wanted? They gave their opinion. This is my opinion. If the tough love at home is not what you wanted, that don't mean that I pushed you into a relationship that you didn't want. If her mothers were so tough, then they wouldn't still be supporting their children. They're still supporting their children financially. Not one, not two, but all 4 of them. So if tough love ran her into a relationship that she didn't want to be in, I'm going to say it like my daddy told me again as a grown woman. If I was a problem for you as a child because I tried to teach you sternly and give you morals and values and principles, if that's the problem, get the fuck out my pocketbook. Then we won't have no problem.
We won't have nothing to say, because I guarantee
we won't have nothing to say.
But you're right. If there was no financial, nothing in the way, if no finances was involved, right? We weren't giving. You know what I'm saying? Then there would be nothing to be said, right? Is that what you're trying to say, Nate? Basically, if you're not in my pocket,
exactly
you run your whole
out of my pocket, because see, you out there making grown-up decisions, but every time you make these grown-up decisions, you got to run back for your mama to figure it out. No, baby, if you out there making these decisions, keep your ass out there and figure out that problem that you created for yourself. And I tell my kids that
why should we have to pay for your consequences? You know what I'm saying? Our parents didn't pay for ours. I don't know that. I know my mom and them did. No,
my mom and daddy didn't pay for mine.
Whatever decisions you make and the consequences that come along with it, you need to stay out there. The same way you did disrespectful when I'm by your side. Oh, go ahead, Nate. Go ahead. Huh?
My consequences were so deep. I paid for my own goddamn high school graduation. So does that mean that my father didn't love me because he made me pay for my own high school graduation? My consequences were so deep that I had to figure out how to feed 4 kids, and I knew my daddy was sitting on $700-800. Does that mean my consequences was too deep? My daddy said, if you made that bed, you're going to lie in that bed and you need to fix that goddamn bed.
That's it. And another thing, I'm not finna be fake just to get acceptance from my child. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give that tough love. I'm not going to change the way I parent just to fit whatever scenario that you feel is right. I'm not going to do that.
I did want to say thank you for that comment. The person that left that one, we respect all, whether we agree with you or not. Thank you for sharing that and asking that, posing that question. You know, because I don't feel we are to the blame for any of the decisions that are made outside of home or even when you was inside home. I'm just saying we're not to blame for some of those things. You can't come back and turn and say, well, it's your fault. You did this. And the reason that I'm down is because of this. The reason I'm disrespecting you is because you disrespected me and all this other extra stuff that I don't comprehend. The children, the young adults, I call them children, but the young adults of today, I don't comprehend their language they speak. I don't get it. I don't understand the mindset. I know they're young. Okay. We were all young. We did stupid stuff. We made dumb decisions and some of the stuff our parents didn't like. But there was just a line that you just didn't cross.
There you go.
Mama or parents. I keep saying mama because we're women and we're mothers. But parents as a whole, we've been there. We've done that. You understand what I'm saying? And
like you said, there's lines that you just don't cross.
We just didn't do that.
Like number one, another line that I hate with this young generation is how they take our grandchildren and they take those first moments away from you. Those moments that you cannot get back. Those are big mistakes that they're making. I don't agree with it.
They're using them as a weapon.
Yeah, you can't get it back. Because you know what I'm saying? When you start feeling better, you're like, oh, I was just young and dumb. Okay, yeah, you was young and dumb, but you took something away from me that you can't give back now.
That's right.
I'll never see my grandbaby's first steps that she took. I never get to celebrate that first Christmas. So I feel like mama don't mean shit. And when you start taking away things like that.
I don't agree. I just don't agree. Like with young people, they say stuff like, I demand your respect, or they're feeling entitled to whatever it is that you have, or where we are what was something else that I heard that was really crazy from a young adult. Something about us being jealous about their
jealous of their generation.
I don't really understand that. I still kind of don't, because I don't understand, because I'm trying to guide you and I'm putting tough love or pressure on you to be great or to be good, because that's how we grew up. I mean, that's the only way we knew how to do it, is in a stern environment. And I'm expecting the same for you. Just because you got opportunities that are easier for you now in today's world doesn't mean I just want it handed to you. That's why these superstars, I think it was Brian McKnight, he went through the same kind of crap with his son. Last time I remember him feeling entitled to his daddy's money. And that's unbelievable, Ricky Smiley. We just talked about him, how his children may feel that way. I just feel the type of way. I have to pause and just stop talking, because I don't understand. I just don't understand why mamas don't mean nothing, or parents, period, these days. I don't get it.
And I like this comment, because a lot of people, they need to realize, a lot of single parents too, realize that once your kid get grown, stop blaming yourself for their mistakes that they make in their adulthood, okay? You can't keep blaming yourself. You raised them the best way that you knew how to raise them. Okay, whatever mistakes they make as the grown adults, that's on them. You gave them what you could give them. And like Pamela says here, she says, all grown folks have choices. I gave my children all the utensils of life and showed them how to use them. When you know better, you do better. All right, girl. As parents, we did the best we could with what we knew and had and learned along the way. Amen. And a lot of us old schoolers, we never went back and blamed our parents for our shortcomings.
Now I got a question. Do you think that there's anything that your children can do to make you disconnect as a mama from them?
Yeah. Take my grandkids.
Using your grandkids against
taking my grandkids, because even though my dad was a shitty dad to me, he really was a shitty dad. I love you, Pops, but he was a hellified grandfather. There was nothing that my kids needed or could ask for that he didn't provide. And that's one agreement that we made. You know, what I did, the mistakes I made with you as a young adult and not being there for you, just don't take my grandkids. Don't hold my grandkids over my head. And to this day, if you ask one of my kids, my grandfather was golden to them. Even though I didn't have the experience that they had, to them, he was God. You know what I mean? And I think I was able to forgive him for not being there for me as a child through them. Watching them when they would light up to go to his house for the summer or the weekend or whatever, as they became young adults, young teenagers. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better grandparent. You know what I mean? And I feel the same way for myself. The mistakes that I made with them as a young adult is kind of like a do-over with my grandparents, with my grandkids. I mean, it's kind of like a do-over with my grandkids. So if they ever take my grandkids away, I think that's a tiebreaker for me.
Jay, do you feel like once you become, say, for instance, you did something happen like they say, grandkids used against, whatever it is, do you think once you have become disconnected, are you wrong for that?
No. Because I am disconnected. And I hate to say that, but I'm just going to put it out there. It's like this. At a point in time when it becomes detrimental to you, you have to disconnect to get your sanity, to keep your sanity, to keep from having a stroke, to keep from having a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going through this crazy stage in their life right now. And I feel like I shouldn't have to go through that with you. I shouldn't. I'm there to give you advice, but don't blame me. Don't blame me for this crazy shit that you're going through or that you're doing to yourself or the decisions that you make. Don't blame me for it and stress me out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm disconnected right now, but I say about I'm going to say when they get in their 30s, then maybe we can reconnect. Maybe you'll have some sense then I'll reconnect. And I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with that. You know, should I give my life for my kids because they acting stupid and ignorant? No, hell no. I refuse to.
I was going to ask one other thing before you read that comment. Do you feel like it's because you are not biological?
No. Because those kids are my kids. Those are my kids. I had them from when they was straight out the womb. Not straight out the womb, but you know, they was two. The youngest one was what?
8 months.
8 months. Okay, so you know, I raised those kids. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't have enough common sense to give me respect, they want to call and talk to me crazy. Don't feel guilty about disconnecting from their ass until you can come to me with some respect. I don't hear you. I can't hear you. I'm not.
I will say this. And it's opposite of what we're saying, but I will say this. I do remember a time in my life where my dad told me I was making his gray hair grow a little bit thicker and a little bit longer on top of his head. And I'm saying all that to say this. They got to go through their growing pains. They have to go through their growing pains, but we don't have to endure their growing pains. And my daddy did not endure my growing pains. It was a lot of shit that he made me go through by myself because of the decisions I made and put myself in that boat. To bring it full circle, my daddy was
I'm going to say this name. Back in our day, our disrespect was different from this generation. This generation is getting to the point to where they want to put their hands on you, to where they harm, want to kill you, and everything else. They crossing the line. You understand? It's like you don't mean shit to me.
That's what
you like another nigga on the street. You know what I'm saying? If I see you on the street, you gonna get the business. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was about to say.
So it's totally different. Yes. We knew not to approach our mama like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The one thing that you keep saying, Nate, every time you open your mouth and you're talking is led with nothing but respect that you had for your father, respect that you had for your mama, respect that you had. Why? Because you just knew to. Why? Because you appreciated any sacrifice that was given to you. It takes you growing up to understand the whys mamas or daddies do the things that they did. And you know, again, we're not perfect. There's no book or Bible for parenting, but it's led majority of the time, led with understanding and concern. So they may not understand it, but it ain't supposed to be led with disrespect. I will mess one of mine up and smile on the mugshot.
Pam, don't play with me, girl. You will see this girl. I'll take the ditches out my mouth. Baby, don't play with me, Pam. Don't play with me, Pam. Girl, you already know what it is.
I had to stop this one right here because a lot of times I knew where things might go if I don't intervene. And this latest situation, we talked about disconnection. This latest situation that we went through with one of ours, it was almost mugshot time. So it was gonna be mugshot time.
Yeah. Now I love my kids, but God dog, when you get to the point to where you don't care how you talking to your mama, and you telling your mama fuck this and fuck that, no, you got to get fucked up. That's what's about to go down.
That's the truth. Now here's a young one. I respect. Read, Jay. I can't see.
And I respect mine to the fully. Mm-hmm. I knew if I looked wrong, she would knock my teeth down my throat. Most definitely made me shape me into the woman I am today. I truly appreciate her and love her. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Mom.
And I think a lot of times these youngsters think that the love that we are the words that come out of our mouth because we've talked to them in a harsh tone, we've cussed at them, we done gave them a ass whooping or a punishment that they don't like, that means we don't love you. You got it all backwards. It's the direct opposite.
There you go.
So I need for young people, young adults that maybe are hearing this live, what we're doing, and we're venting about how mamas or parents aren't respected, how there's no appreciation for sacrifices, how we not shit anymore. We're venting about it, but for you guys to also take away something and know that what was given or what is continuing to be given, mm-hmm. you have to understand it's with love and that we're guiding you. We're trying to give you what was given to us to keep you in good standings, to keep you out of jail, to keep you off of drugs, to keep you from killing yourself when times get hard, to keep you for you to be a good mama or daddy to your children. You don't just learn this stuff. It's not just right there for you when you grow, when you all of a sudden turn 20. Oh, it's there. I got it. Poof, I'm grown and I got everything that I need. No, we as parents have to give you that. And it's not going to always come wrapped in a pretty ass bow. It's just not. So I don't know.
What I don't understand is why they think that we want to get our blood pressure up.
I ain't trying to get sick.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to ignore it and go on about your life. You know what I mean? Right, Nate?
Yep.
It's easier not to try to raise a child and just say, I'm just going to ignore what they do and let them do whatever. A person who cares, they go the extra mile. It might not come out pretty and wrapped in bows, like Tanya said, and butterflies and rainbows. But, that's how you know when a person cares. They're going to tell you, even when it hurts, they're going to tell you what it is. We're not going to butter you up and try to be your friend.
Now that I heard from a young adult that we did not set them up for success. Let me tell you something. Punishing you, trying to teach you that you pay for where you stay, trying to teach you to be responsible with your check, to understand where your financial responsibilities lie, to demand respect from any relationship you have, whether it's a man or a woman, that is setting you up for success. You chose not to listen to it, so you have the outcomes and the struggles that you've got, not in any fault of mine or hers, but that is setting you up for success. You have to grow up to see it, I guess. But what do you do at a particular time? How does a mom or a parent build a healthy bond with their children?
Somebody in the comments, let us know.
How do you
tell us? How do you build a healthy bond with your kid?
I'm gonna take it back. It starts from childhood. It starts at an early age. You got to, and my daughter's watching right now. Sandra, I love you with everything I got. But you got to start with the discipline. Discipline and education come from home. The bond will come from home. I'm gonna take this time to say this, and let me explain something to you all. If you don't cherish what you got right now, you're gonna wake up tomorrow, and your tomorrow will be over. It's a lot of people watching this show that don't have their mothers, that don't have their fathers, that don't have their grandparents, that don't have those great aunties and uncles that molded them into the people that they are. You can sit up and say, you don't need your mother, you don't need your father, you don't need the guidance. Well, I'm here to tell you, by God Almighty, yes, you do. My mother had her own demons without me slaying her name. And she's been gone 30 years. And I wish every day that I could get her back. I wish every day that I could just speak to her just one time. My father's been gone 8 years. And like I've said 1,000 times, he was a hellified daddy, booger bear. He was not there for me, but he was a great grandfather. All this talking that we're doing, you're going to wake up one day and that parent that you need, that mother that you need, that guidance that you need, it's not going to be there. And all the if, shoulda, coulda, wouldas in the world is not going to bring it back. All this, you getting on my nerves, fuck you, respect me. A disobedient child, days will be shortened. And I taught that to my kids before I even put a Bible in their hand. You can disrespect me. You can talk crazy to me. You can run away. I can be all kind of bitches and hoes. And baby, God will put a whooping on you that your mama will never touch you. Your mama will never touch you. And my kids done did it. My kids done been there where they felt like they were going through hell. Just this past weekend, my daughter's apartment caught a fire. Not her unit, but her apartment. And my grandkids was outside wrapped up in a towel with no clothes on. And who did she call? She damn sure didn't call her daddy. She damn sure
I'm saying, during times of hurt or emotional, who they go? They gonna run to their mama.
They gonna run to their mama. The same mama you disrespecting, that's who you gonna run to.
So take advantage of why they here, mama or
don't let time run out.
Your parent, whoever your parent
if
is,
your parents, they're biological,
by the way. Whoever you call them mama, whoever's there raising you, whoever's making those sacrifices for you, take. You know what? We'd be so happy. I'm easy to please. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to me sometime. Come over and have a cup of coffee with me every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Just call me on the phone and say, how you doing?
Mama, how you doing today?
That's it.
Instead of the other side, the take all the other disrespect. Hey, I get you being young, but come on, there's a line you don't cross. So anyway, trust me. I can't see.
Trust what you put in them and allow them to make those mistakes and try not to judge them, but give them corrective criticism. Rather you believe or feel they heard you. But trust me, they heard you. They will repeat what you told them one day. Baby, I'm still waiting on it.
They sure will. And Pam, I miss you too. I miss that cooking, girl. Shit, I get tired of cooking. I need a home cooked meal. They slay it.
Y'all know a lot of people say that your kids do what they see you do.
No, they don't.
I don't believe that statement. Not for one moment. Because if that's the case, y'all be in the medical field. Y'all be doing something.
No, not one has mimicked or followed.
Not one.
So I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
So I don't believe that either.
Anywho,
I'm coming soon, and I got you.
She got your food.
Well, I don't believe in that because my daddy, he wasn't a good person to follow, and if that's the case, then I need to be out there an alcoholic, shooting heroin, and all that good old. No, I didn't want to follow his road. I don't think so. I don't think so. He showed me what not to do. That's one of the best things he did. What not to do.
Yeah, I think there should be, I thought about Ricky Smiley in the very first thing that you said. Mm-hmm. I think people need to stop being so hard on that man. How he raised his children to the best of his ability. The ones not even his, he did to the best of his ability. We don't know his situation, and no one knows the next person's situation. So don't pass so much judgment. The young adults maybe that are passing judgment on him as well. You know what I'm saying? He only wanted the best. And that's what I was trying to say about him wanting, was it his son that he wanted to his nephew to be presentable to, I'm not going to get into all of that. Young people, respect your people that love you. I didn't need to even get into that because that's a whole nother situation, but go ahead.
I think the young people just need to realize that, if somebody's always up in your business, that means they love you. Okay, because that's a lot of extra stress that most people won't even deal with. You know what I'm saying? If I'm stressing and always in your business, always in your ear trying to tell you something to encourage you, take that as love and not negativity. Okay, and also, y'all, make sure that you start loving your moms. You know what I'm saying? Your parents,
Yes.
period. Love your parents. Okay, we're not your enemy. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to love you, guide you, and all the time. It might not sound right to you, but remember, we was once where you were.
We once were those young people.
We were
I'm gonna say it like the old folks would say it. Baby, keep talking about me. Keep putting me down, baby. They talked about Jesus Christ, so I know goddamn well they're gonna talk about me. 2 thumbs up, motherfucker. That's how I feel about it. That's really how I feel about it.
Tell me how you feel about it.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
If they hung that man on that cross that they say died for my sins, and they talked about him and they ridiculed him, baby, I want you to talk about me till you can't talk about me no more, because you still gonna need me at the end of the day.
Amen.
Something I'm doing is right because you keep talking about me.
Well, I hope somebody took something away from this conversation, especially not to feel guilty about whatever your kids are going through in their adulthood. You know, you did the best that you could. You know, be okay with that.
Yeah.
Feel content with that, because I know Tanya, for the longest time, she felt guilty and she always blamed herself. I didn't do this or I didn't do that right. You did everything right. You did the best that you could.
Right.
I'm not going to say we're perfect parents.
That's what
We're
I was
not.
gonna say.
We're not perfect.
I can't claim that I did. You know, no, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I know I led with was love, and my I tried to listen and give them. You know, my structure from when I was younger wasn't the best. Okay, so you know, I tried to go the opposite end of the spectrum by giving them the direct opposite. That didn't necessarily work. You know what I'm saying? Giving them a voice, letting them feel like they had a say so and all that other stuff. No, that's not the best thing.
All the wrong shit. She gave them
Young
everything.
parents of the world, don't do that. Please don't do that. That is not the best thing to give your child a voice like that. Okay? No, don't do it.
It's not right to let your
Help
child.
them
It's not right to let your child run the house. Okay.
No.
But Nate, we should have instilled the Joe Jackson approach.
It does. I'll joke aside.
Hey. We should have instilled that. Joe Jackson, baby. Y'all, this was supposed to be all about Mama Don't Mean Shit No More.
A little mixture.
A little mixture of everything, even a little Ricky Smiley. So I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope y'all come back next week and join in. Y'all, I'm being greedy. I'm eating these white yogurt pretzels, and they're so good. Whatever, you just jealous because you ain't got no. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. I think we got a comment
Thanks
over
for
here.
all the comments that we get.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you.
Good to see you, Miss Pamela, and everybody else. Oh, let me read her comment. I have raised those children and wasn't on no drugs. I never missed a meal and I never missed a bill. Shut up, girl. Today, I'm like, fuck them kids and enjoy my life. Girl, I should have ended the show with that. I need to repeat.
That's the end of the show.
I need to repeat that, baby.
However, that's the end of the show.
Nate, can you repeat that?
She said I wasn't on no drugs. They didn't miss no meals. I paid all them bills. So I'm out living my life by saying, fuck them kids. Okay?
There you go. And y'all,
And
we gonna
that
leave
came
out
from
that.
Straight Talk by the way of Pam. You understand me? Look up
All right.
Pam. Not Pamela, but Pam. Her name Pam.
All right,
understand
y'all.
me?
We gonna end it with that.
Wow.
All right, y'all. We love all of y'all. We hope to see y'all next week. This has been Straight Talk. No BS. We love you.